A good result or a missed opportunity? That is the question following tonight's result against Germany at the Allianz Arena, where England managed to get a 1-1 draw after being 1-0 down. Now, on the face of it, it's not an awful result. It's a point on the board. However, after the Hungary result, you really wanted to bounce back and get a win today. Now, this game had a lot going on. Like, if we take a look at the stats, then you will see it was not a boring 1-1 draw. Both teams definitely could have scored more goals, and so let's go through the game step by step today. Very quickly, before we jump into today's video, I want to give you guys a massive thank you for the support recently on the channel since we've brought it back. Basically, I just have to show gratitude because I'm very thankful that you've been enjoying the videos, thumbing them up, getting discussions going in the comments, and a lot going on. We've had some new subscribers, so welcome to the people that are new to the channel. And you've also got us to the point where I can apply for partnership, monetization, and stuff like that on this channel. So thank you very much, every single one of you. Let's get into today's video. Starting off with the formations. Now, after my video the other day where we were talking about Southgate, whether he was tactically inept and the fact that he loves playing a 5-back all the time, today he mixed things up and we actually played a sort of 4-2-3-1 formation with Walker and Trippier as fullbacks today after the injury to James Justin in the previous game. We started the game with Rice and Phillips in midfield. However, unfortunately for Calvin, he did get injured relatively early on and Jude Bellingham came on for him, who, by the way, was fantastic today. Then we had a 3 of Mount, Sterling and Saka just behind Harry Kane, whereas the Germans went for a 5-back themselves. Kimmich and Gundogan in the middle running the show, and Muller Musiala with Havertz up front. Now I have to say, before we talk about anybody else, Musiala, what a guy. He looks like an absolutely phenomenal talent, and it's very upsetting that he's in their team considering they already have so many great players. It's like when France come up with yet another up-and-coming player, it's just like, it's not fair, okay? Can we have some of these, please? Now, both teams were going forward and actually attacking in this game. However, it was Germany that had the first big moment of the game where they thought they had gone 1-0 up. However, luckily for us, VAR ruled it out for offside, and we were actually doubly lucky here because whilst the player that scored was offside, the one that was hauled down to the floor by Harry Maguire was not, and so it could easily have been a red card and a goal had he had been onside. And unfortunately, it seems that Maguire, as we discussed in the previous video, in a back 4, it just doesn't work. For whatever reason, he doesn't seem to be able to play it. Now, in a back 3/5, he seems a lot more comfortable, probably because he doesn't have as much responsibility, but you see the liability that he becomes when it's in a back 4. So that was a bit worrying today, and he had to be covered multiple times by the fullbacks. Speaking of which, Kyle Walker made a very big tackle, and I'm not normally a massive Kyle Walker fan, but I thought tonight he did very well. He covered for the rest of the defence, and he put in some last-ditch tackles and blocks and stuff today, so fair play to him. Kane had a chance, Musiala had a chance, Havertz had a chance, all in the first half. And then we somehow had 8 minutes added on in the first half. That's unheard of. Like, unless a player has an absolutely terrible injury, you never see that. So that was pretty crazy to see. A couple more chances, more so for Germany than for us. But we go into half-time 0-0. However, second half, 5 minutes into it, we concede. Hoffman scores. Not good defending. Maybe Pickford could have done a little bit better for this one. But again, arguably Maguire at fault, or at least partially at fault here. Just a couple of really nice passes through. And to be fair, a good strike by Hoffman. Maybe it's harsh to say Pickford could have done better because it was a very good hit of the ball. Unfortunately, it then took until about the 70th minute for Southgate to make a change, and that was Jack Grealish coming on. He had an instant impact and was really trying to make things happen. And then a couple of minutes after he comes on, Harry Kane has an incredible chance. A ball is played to the back post and he has a shot across goal. Neuer somehow saves it and gets it out away from goal. Really, really good save. You can still see why he is considered one of the best that there is. By far our best chance of the game, and really frustrating that we couldn't get it in the back of the net. But then we get a penalty! Now, an interesting scenario. A ball is attempted to be played through onto the wing. A Germany player tries to intercept it. It goes through towards Harry Kane, and he is brought down in the box. Now, this is a bit similar to the Champions League final with the non-goal from Benzema when it was judged to have not been deliberate, the touch that ended up giving the ball to him. Whereas this one was deemed to be, yes, it was an attempt to get the ball. It came off of him, played through to Kane. He was brought down from behind. I think it was Schlotterbeck slightly slipped. And Harry Kane takes the penalty, goes bottom left. Keeper, no chance. And a really, really nice goal. Takes him up to 50 for England, by the way, which is only 3 behind Wayne Rooney's record. He's got plenty of years left in him. He is going to absolutely smash this, barring some crazy injury that basically ends his career. He has been basically the saviour for England at times. Sometimes it's not fully worked for him in different systems, but nowadays, he's the guy. If you want someone to step up and save the day, it's going to be Harry Kane. And with some of the players that we've got around him, like Bellingham today, Grealish when he came on, there is excitement there. However, it just feels like we're still lacking that something, that creativity. Now, I'm not going to bang on about like Maddison and people like that, because it seems clear that Southgate doesn't want to play with a number 10, even though today we sort of did, which I don't really understand when he's previously said that we aren't playing that kind of system. But that seems to be the thing. If we could just get that number 10, that cam, to just slot everything else around us together, I feel like that is potentially the key to really, really unlock the potential here. And I love the formation that we played today, but it's just tricky getting the right players in that squad to play that formation when they've initially been chosen basically to play a 5-back instead. After the penalty, there are a few minutes added on, but unfortunately, neither team, well, unfortunately for us, we couldn't get a goal, and unfortunately for Germany, they couldn't snatch one either. We were on top at the end and did go for it a little bit, although Pickford did seem to time waste a little bit. Maybe happy with a point? I'm not too sure. But Germany weren't that good defensively. They were decent going forward, and I think that was partially because of our slightly dodgy defence today. And so it does feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity, because better teams definitely would have beat Germany tonight. It wasn't like they had a complete off day, but they were not at their best. And so when we look at the table of the Nations League now, it's not pretty viewing. Italy managed to beat Hungary tonight, and we only get a draw. So after 2 games, we are bottom of the group. Now, there are still 4 matches left. 2 against Italy, 1 against Germany, 1 against Hungary. So in theory, we still have a chance of finishing top of this group and going through to the finals next summer. That chance doesn't look very big. It's looking pretty slim in reality. But even if we don't get there, I think what we need to do is utilize these games as experiences for different tactics, formations, systems, and players. Especially if we do not get a result against Italy. We could then use the second half of these group games in order to mix things up and try some things out ahead of the World Cup later this year. So it's a bit of a shame that we could not get the win today. However, slightly better performance than Hungary. We actually looked like we could have got the win today, and we weren't a massive disappointment. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on the game. Our previous video was basically about the tactics and whether we think Southgate is good enough. A lot of the comments were saying, no, he isn't. Did tonight's game slightly change your thoughts on that? Do you think that we're a little bit more tactically astute, or did we just get a little bit lucky that they weren't finishing their chances either? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts, but that is going to be it for this video. I'm aiming to do daily videos between now and the 18th of June, which is the day that I get back from holiday. I'm leaving on Saturday, and so the third game against Italy, I will try and give you my thoughts whilst filming out in Portugal. I can't promise anything, but hopefully I'll be able to do that for you. If you did enjoy this one, thumb it up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.